Alrighty, we're gonna do a real quick unboxing and tour of the Bloom card. Just got this in the mail today. I do apologize. I am super sick right now, so my voice is gonna sound like garbage. But let's go ahead and get into it and see what this baby has to offer. Alright, so starting with the card itself here, we got a really nice Bloom logo in some kind of silvery font or reflective to the light. Super nice. But what I think is probably the coolest part about this unboxing experience is pull the little pull tab here. Let's see if I can do it on camera. Oh, look at that. And it slides out. Do a little message from the founder and CEO. And then you get your card on the right side. Super cool, super unique opening experience. Closes right back up the same way. Super nice, super simple. I really like this mechanism, especially for unboxing something so simple as a card. Oh, so appeasing. So much fun to do. Let's go ahead and take this card out and take a look at it. So the card itself is super high quality. It's a metal card with an NFC chip on the back. There's really not much else to it, if I'm being perfectly honest, and that's the point. The point is for you to be able to set this on your desk, tap your phone as you walk out of the house in the morning, and have it lock down your distractions while you're at work. That way, when you get home, you tap the NFC again, and it unlocks all the apps that you had locked previously. Super simple concept. This is one of the only competitors to the brick device that's really popular on iOS. And I'm really happy to see that another company is reaching into the space because there wasn't really a great alternative for Android phones since the brick only runs on iOS. And I'm super excited to test this out to see how it works with app blocking, web blocking, just being able to cut down on distractions and negativity in my life, doom scrolling, things like that. So let's take a peek inside the app and see how we can get this thing set up. Now, like I said, this is a brick competitor as it works with Android, but it also works with iOS. And behind the card placement inside that little package that we get are actually two QR codes that lead you one to the iOS store and one to the Google Play Store. So you can download it for either of your respective devices, regardless of which system you're on, which is super cool. I went ahead and installed it here. It takes you right to the place where you can get it from either app store. We're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to see what this is like. Looks like they've got a couple of slides. That's why we made Bloom. It's giving explanations as to, locking out your phone, locking out distractions. Super cool, super simple. We're going to create a username here. Now that we've created a username, it's going to ask us some questions. What's your daily screen time? I am probably about 4 or 5 hours a day. I'd like to get rid of doom scrolling, using my phone in bed, virtually everything. Distracting me from work, anxious, stressed, fear of missing out, using my phone while eating. There's so many things and more that I'd like to get rid of. And there's some really cool things that I've heard about the Bloom app that Brick doesn't have, specifically like calendar scheduling, where you can pick dates and times and certain things that you want to block out. Super good stuff. Let's see what it's going to tell us here. So I'm on track to spend 17 years of my life staring at my phone. That's pretty terrifying. That's actually terrifying. They can save me 10 years. That's pretty awesome. I'd like to get 10 years of my time back, most definitely. Can make a lot more YouTube videos with that. All right, that's super cool. We got all this awesome stuff. They need some permissions. I'm gonna give them permissions, and then we'll get right back to the tour of the app. All right, now that I've given it permissions, this first step here is commit to focusing. We want to set a goal streak. This is something that I saw in a couple of reviews. People really liked having the ability to set a goal, keeps people consistent and committed, which is awesome. I would like to go with a 14-day streak. I'd like to go beyond that, but we'll see. Create a physical separation. Choose where you will put your Bloom card. Where will you put your Bloom card to stay focused? Probably at my desk. It's gonna be the best option. Cool. So then we get a little video showing us how it works. You can tap it to the back of your phone, and it locks things out. And basically, from other reviews I've seen, when you want to turn off the lockout,
You go into the app, you say cancel, and then you have to scan it again. Obviously, that's the whole gimmick with these, is that it won't let you use the apps you blocked until you scan your NFC chip again. So that's super cool. Let's see what's next. Looks like we're getting right into it. Let's live distraction free, shall we? Sounds good. Tap to continue. We'll see if it works. Oh, I have to tap the rocket. Okay. Welcome to new way forward. Up in the top right there, we've got our streak. We're currently on 0 days. That completely checks out. We just started. It does show your current screen time. I'm already at 4.5 hours. Now, like I said, I have been sick for the last 2 days, so I'm spending a lot more time on my phone than I would in a normal day, considering I work 10-hour shifts. So it's a little higher today, but we can go ahead and we can set up blocking things. We can start a focus session here by tapping the card. That's super cool. Looks like we have a few different modes built in: default, work, chill, creative, sleep. That's super cool to see. And we're gonna kind of just start left to right and kind of check things out here. Another cool thing that I did see in reviews about this is that we can allow breaks for ourselves. You can allow, it looks like, up to 3 breaks or no breaks. Breaks can be timed to different durations as far as I'm aware. And then you basically just go into the app, you say, hey, I want to start my 10-minute break, and it will allow you, and then it'll lock you back out after 10 minutes. Tap the card or hold to start focus. That's super cool. We're going to go ahead and just play around with this app a little bit, see what else we can do. Schedules. This is the thing people were loving about this compared to break, is that the ability to have custom schedules is just so cool. You can do your morning zen, your deep work, focus zones, so on and so forth. But you can also create schedules, which is just so cool. Start times, end times, days of the week. You can change the modes, change the breakage, like how many breaks you're allowed. Again, it's up to 3 max. So that is super cool to see. If we go back to schedules here, it looks like we have just so many built-in options. Super awesome for people that just want to jump in and really just rip on it, get going with this immediately without having to set anything up. Another one of the quote unquote gimmicks of this app is the leaderboard ranking system. Kind of turns it into a game, which is a lot of fun, but depending on who you are, you may or may not like that. Looks like, users focused, hours saved, and then you got your, the names of your users, how much time they've saved. 824 days is kind of crazy. Aaron is up there crushing it in first place. Well, we're gonna give him a run for our money, or a run for his money here soon. And that's over a lifetime. You can also do like 7 days and streaks, stuff like that. Super cool. And then the last one is kind of your insights here. This is super awesome. Over time, you'll get to see the average focus time that you've saved over a week, a month, lifetime, your screen time throughout like an average and over the days. And then you can check your distraction report, see how much time you're spending on each of these apps, which is, again, super helpful if you're really trying to like lock down your doom scrolling. You can go in there and see, oh, I spent 2 hours on Facebook or 2 hours on Instagram or TikTok or whatever it is. And if you're not doing something productive, that's how long you're wasting. And you can really just kind of hone in on those apps, especially with those custom schedules. And it's super cool to see. Looks like you do have some emergency exits as well in case you don't have your card, but you really need to get access to something. You can utilize that tool, which is super great. Generally, though, there aren't any ways out of this, that's the big perk to this card, is that you can't get out of the lockout unless you scan it again. So most apps that you'll see, they have ways for you to break your habit, right? Like especially the built-in Android and iOS apps for focusing. You can easily input your PIN and then boom, all your apps are back online. Not with these devices. You have to scan the NFC, and I think that is super, super cool. And so that brings us to the end of this little unboxing and app walkthrough. I'm going to go ahead and use this device for the next 30 days, and then I'm going to do another video kind of sharing my thoughts, my experiences using the Bloom card for 30 days. And hopefully it'll provide some really good insights for anyone who is looking to find a way to cut out some distractions, some doom scrolling, and kind of get back some more of their time. So if you are looking to be a part of that journey, stay with me, like, follow, subscribe, and I'll see y'all again in 30 days.